Hello, everybody. Welcome to the None Eat Press Room. I'm thrilled here to be able to introduce one of our new summer signings. With me here today is Zan Seller, who comes from Roma, Portsmouth. Every place he's gone, he scores goals. You want to say some words to the people today, Zan? He's pretty focused, so let's just drive on. We showed him the locker room. He didn't run away, and we told him new locker room coming. This might actually be the last press conference we have in this room. Side note, too, Chairman Jimmy, in addition to new facilities, has said he's going to build new youth facilities next summer. We are a club on the move. We just have to survive this year, this season, and Zan here is a big part of that. You can just tell how excited he is to be here. Any questions? Yeah. Am I worried that we have 12 new signings and what it's going to do to team chemistry? Yeah, team chemistry, team maths, team biology, physics, all those things. I worry about them all. It's my job. It's part of the model. And so, yeah, we're good. Let's wrap up there, actually. Big match tomorrow against Coventry. Looking forward to getting this season started. Let's go kick some butt. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Devotion to Promotion as we start Season 5. If you're new to this series, we're trying to take Nuneaton Borough from the bottom of English football to the top. We've just been promoted to League One, and we have the lowest budget in the league. It's been a super busy month. I don't think I've spent more time in 1 month of Football Manager than I have over the past 3 days trying to get this team ready. I'm super excited to share the stuff that we've got. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I'm a little bit more optimistic than I was just a few days ago. So let's dig in, do some announcements, then we're going to jump in and play our opening match against Coventry. Might end up being a little bit longer of an episode because there's a lot of things to cover, but let's get started. First, as you may have heard in the press conference, I talked to Chairman Jimmy again, and I don't know what's going on with Chairman Jimmy. All of a sudden, I think he had like kind of a Scrooge moment where he's just spending all his money now. But we did sell a lot of players, which might be the reason why, so we have more money, so I'll get to that in a moment. But he did say, when I asked him about building youth facilities, I figured, okay, I asked him a little while ago to improve the club facilities. Let's go for youth facilities too. And he said, sure. And so next summer, construction is going to start on new youth facilities. If we look at Club Vision, it will start in July and be done in October. So still 14 months away from having them. But it would be nice, actually, maybe to have a youth intake that's worth something. I know I haven't mentioned them much in the history of this series because it's really pretty much 0 times 12 is still 0, no matter what we get. And actually, this year, I've been feeling so bad that I haven't signed any of the youth players that I figured maybe I should sign 1 or 2 of them. So I signed 3 of them, and the board says, what are you doing signing these players? So our youth intakes have been terrible. That would open up a whole new element of the game. I'm really excited because, as you can see right now with our club information, both our training facilities and our youth facilities are below average, 1 star, and we just haven't seen a lot of progress both in development of players at the club or in bringing in good youth candidates and make able to develop them too. So, really excited that the whole kind of infrastructure of the club seems to be taking a step up. But the news gets much better. Let's take a look, because there's so much that's gone on. Let's take a look at the player signings. Now, you may recall from the last episode, one of the things that I was saying was the plan was to sell all the players that we can't use and then bring in the new players. And if you remember from last episode, this whole right side of the screen was full with players going out, and the left side had down to Caleb Watts coming in. If you look at it now, it's quite a bit different, right? Because we have more players gone, but we've added 8 new players, 9 new players over the course of the last month. Most of them on loan, which creates its own kind of side story, but we'll get to that. But anyway, let's go through a couple of these because some of them are super exciting. Yassine and Naya, not necessarily exciting, but we sold him for £50,000. He is the Nuneaton all-time goal scorer, but if you recall last year, just really struggling at League 2 level to score goals. Didn't anticipate it getting any better. It was time to say thank you for your service. So Yassine, interestingly enough, he's gone to Southend, who is in League One with us. So we'll get a chance to play him. We actually play him this month in a cup match. So we'll get to see him at least 3 times this year. Be interesting to see how he does this year at this level now that we've given up on him. Speaking of players we've given up on, a side story, because it's kind of funny. Adam, I've actually officially named him Adam the Mummy Phillips, because now if you recall Adam the Mummy Phillips, he was with us last year. Great player, hurt all the time, 4 times. If we looked at his injury history from last year, I think he had 2 sports hernias and a couple of them. He played 8 matches the whole year. So just didn't play for us. Finally, I said, I can't take it anymore. I got to sell him. Sold him for £100,000. But the whole time I'm thinking is like, wow, he's a really good player. What if he stays healthy for this new club that he's gone to, St. Johnstone? Well, I have been putting him on a follow list. And lo and behold, they reported back like at the end of June. By June 29th, within 3 or 4 days of reporting back, he had picked up a bruised foot that knocked him out for 3 days. Then he came back. He was back for less than a week, and he got a major lower back stress fracture. So he's continuing on. He's just, it's unreal. That's his third lower back stress fracture in his career. And he's out for 4 weeks. He's going to miss the opening day, and then it's going to be rehab time. So Adam the Mummy Phillips continues to live up to his name. It does make me wonder. I mean, this isn't a new gen character. This is a real player. So what's his real life like now? And like, what would the real Adam Phillips feel if he saw what's happened to him in Football Manager over the last 5 years? I mean, would he retire from football if he saw this right now? Because this is brutal. Sports hernia, twisted knees, tight calf, hamstring strain, sprained ligaments. I mean, it's just brilliant. So anyway, yeah, if anybody knows Adam the Mummy Phillips, I'm curious to see what his real life's been like. I'll have to look that up maybe for one of these episodes. But anyway, we digress. Also gone is Major, who you may have remembered from he was a big proponent, big player in our last couple seasons. We got, I think, 20,000 pounds from. This was, again, I think League One's beyond his level, but he had scored 23 goals for us, so we did drop quite a bit of production. But following some advice I read on the internets, I concentrated on strikers, and we just went all out for new players. So I went through every championship team and every Premier League team and checked out all their loanees, spent a ton of time, and this is the result. We've got these 9 players in, starters at like half of our positions on our team. I want to kind of mention a few of them. Some of them I've talked about last time. Nyak Kirby, of course, I mentioned last time. Just really thrilled to sign him. He's our most expensive player. Morgan Jeffs, we got him on loan from Leeds. Again, a player at Division League One level, so happy about that. Scores 29 goals for Oxford United. Big striker, really fast, acceleration 16, pace of 15. Should be able to help us out with goals. We have him on loan at £1,500 per week, which I thought was a really reasonable price. Then Zan Seller, who we mentioned, he's our second most expensive player. Again, pans out as being a good player for most EFL 1 sides. Really good numbers all the way across the board. I think, and maybe people know this, but Yassine and Naya had a flair of 7. And I wonder if, as you go higher up, the flair becomes really important, because I wonder if that's why he was struggling to score. And I'm happy to see that Zan Seller has a flair of 12 here, but all his numbers really good. He scored, I think, 2 or 3 goals in our matches, our friendlies coming up to today. Then we worked on defense here. Tom Holmes, signed him for £1,700 per week. I think he's a really good deal. Decent player for most EFL 1 sides. Really good defensive numbers. Leadership of 13. And teamwork, leadership of 15, teamwork of 13. So I'm thinking, this is probably Shez Isaac's last year with the club as a player. Maybe Tom Holmes could be our new and up and rising captain here. So really nice to have a center back there with good leadership abilities. And going on, so interestingly enough, most of the teams we contacted wanted to take a lot of money for their players coming on loan, pretty much their full salaries. But Leicester and Aston Villa were willing to let players go for free. So took advantage of that. Terrell Pennant, center attacking midfielder, could play really well, and his numbers look really good for right wing and left wing, which is what we really needed. So he's going to start out at right wing for us. I think this is going to be really good. Again, a player that slots out at League One level, and got him in totally free, which is really excited about that. Also from Leicester, because we thought maybe we could pair these up, we have Shane Flynn, who's going to start today on the left wing. Again, a good player for most EFL 1 sides. So we went from having nobody at EFL 1 level to having 4 players now that slot out as good players for EFL 1 level. So I think we might be able to score some goals. I'm pretty excited about that. Again, he's got really good numbers for a wing player out on the left. Kind of happy to have him on board. So lots of good stuff there. We got a backup goalkeeper who might actually be better than our starting goalkeeper, Braga, on loan from Blackburn. So again, slots out as a good EFL 1 level goalkeeper. So that's good. Right back, left back, we were really weak at. Luke Matheson from Aston Villa. Says good, operating at an EFL 1 player, value of $600,000, totally free for the season from Aston Villa. And look at that, he looks like just a really happy guy. I thought, wow, happy guy, we need happy guys. So Luke Happy Matheson is in here. Good numbers all, of course, really fast. Not so good defensively, but good crossing and dribbling and stuff like that. I could think he could be a pretty decent kind of attacking fullback for us. So pretty happy about that. On the other side, we got Dan Dickens in from Bournemouth. Speaking of which, Bournemouth fired Eddie Howe, and they're looking for a new coach, new manager, and my name has come up. Not that I'm interested in moving, but just kind of interesting. We're kind of moving up in the football manager world here now that we're in the 5th season and had some luck with promotions and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun to see. We'll see how that plays out. Again, operating at EFL 1 level. Decent crossing, really good acceleration and speed. So I feel like we went, again, from having nobody good on the outsides, at outside backs and our wings, to having players that kind of at least slot out at this level. We've added also this guy, George Lapsey, who we signed in for £2,400 a week. A good EFL player, can play all over the midfield, outside on wing too. So I think just kind of shoring up our midfield a little bit will be helpful, and he'll be kind of able to jump in on the right or left wings, I think, as we go forward. So that's pretty much it. I think we went through everybody. Usually I don't go through all the names on the list, but I thought, wow, there's a lot of really good players we got in here. And interestingly enough, if we look at club info, so we're slotted, the media prediction that comes up here at the beginning of the year is 24th. But one of the things I noticed, if you go to the standings, and this is probably something that, well, everybody knows except me, but I've just learned it now. And you go to league table, if we do this, and then we look at media prediction. This media prediction here changes over the course of the season. I knew that. I wasn't really quite sure why, but what I figured out is that as you improve the quality of your team, this media prediction is dynamic, and it just keeps changing. And I'm not sure quite exactly how it's all calculated, but we went from, I think, like 23rd at the end of June, and now it's slotted us all the way up to 7th. So apparently, I think, cautiously optimistic that the football manager gods think we have a much better team than we had a little while ago. And I'm pretty happy because I think we've filled every single problem spot that we had at the beginning of the season, and I didn't see that coming. Now, the drawback is, if we look at our squad here and we sort by ability, you'll notice that 4, 5, 6, 7, our 7 best players are all loan players. We can only dress 5 per match. And obviously for like a long-term vision of the club, we don't want a lot of lone players playing, because then we're not developing our own players and all that kind of stuff. So I've still got some money left. Budget-wise, we still have the lowest budget in the league, but selling all those players, I was able to get our wage budget up to $41,000, which is only about $5,000 less than the lowest team in the league. But we still have some room. We're spending $37,000 now. I've got a couple of other players I'm looking to get in that I'll mention how that plays out later if that all works out. But my thoughts are to kind of replace players, to keep looking for players for outside wingers. And as we can find players that we can replace them, then send these back, because every single loan I got, I unchecked that box that said you can't return the player. So we could send anybody back. So for example, if I were able to get another decent striker, I could send Morgan Jeffs back, and we could kind of move forward that way to kind of reduce our reliance on loan players and kind of some of that bottleneck there. So that's the long-term objective. I just don't think we have the luxury to do that now because we have no money. So I really had to hit the loan market as hard as I could to try to get players in here for basically next to nothing so that we could field a competitive team. But super excited to see how this works out. I'm just taking a look at my notes here. One interesting side fact, and I don't know if this is kind of typical for how things go, but if we look at where is it, club info here, history, records, an interesting thing I stumbled upon here, if we look at transfers, and I didn't realize this, total transfer spending. We have yet to spend a single pound buying a player. Every single player has been a free transfer. And I don't know if I probably should be looking for players to buy, but we just really haven't had much money to work with. So we've yet to spend $1 on, a pound on, or a euro on any player. Whatever that's worth. Enough of me babbling. It is time. I feel a little clunky because I haven't done this for a while, but it's time to jump in and start the season. Let's go to match preview. We are at home, but we're 6-4 underdogs. And we've played them in preseason matches the last 4 years because Coventry was our senior affiliate. And we lost the first two, and we actually won the two after that, but I'm not sure that a friendly really means anything. Let's go to team selection and get this started. I was thinking initially we're going to have to go super defensive, so I've got us right now on a 4-1-2-3, and that's what I've been trying to fill out players for. And that's what I've been using in friendlies because I'm thinking this is going to be a really long year. I still think it's going to be a struggle, but I'm cautiously hopeful that maybe we can avoid a relegation battle. But starting across the back, Matheson, our new fullback from Aston Villa, is here. Holmes, our newly signed defender. O'Brien, we're back on loan. Clark and Stolikovich are our defenders. Clark is a defender from last year. He's listed as a problem spot for this match because Dan Dickens just arrived this morning, so he's not ready to play yet. Dixon, Bonner, Kirby, and Delcroix in our midfield. Martin is out on the right wing. He's also one of our weaker players because Pennant, our newly acquired winger here, is actually just coming off an injury and isn't match shape ready yet. So Flynn, our new left winger, and Zanzeller, our new signing, will be starting out at striker. I think it's time to get this started. I just want to check the bench here. Yeah, looks pretty decent. Let's submit our team. It took a little wiggling around. Yeah, we know that. That's okay. We have some players still not in match fitness, but I'm just going to play them anyway. Figured we just got to get them up to speed as quick as we can here. Let's start. It is 18 degrees and drizzle. Oh, I'm pretty nervous here. This is like so much work to reimagine this team. I just hope it isn't terrible. Let's go to the dressing room here and get started. Oh, a tunnel. Nice. Everybody thinks this is a big match. Let's do team talk. It's all over to you, lads. Have a good one. Yeah, they're kind of listening. I do think, kind of mentioning this, with so many new players in here, I do think team chemistry is going to be kind of an issue here. Let's go to team tactics and opposition, ask assistant, and we want to press on the outsides always, no matter what we're doing. So we'll just adjust that quickly, then we're going to start right in to our first match here. I'll turn this volume down on my head. Good. Team talk. End team talk. We've done that. Let's go to the tunnel. What do we got here? You sprung a few surprises with your team selections today. What's the thinking behind that? Yeah, some players will play in this fixture, others will play in others. Given Luke Matheson's lack of match fitness, how long can he last out there? He's good to go. If he incurs any setbacks in the match, we'll deal with them accordingly. Yep. So I'm not expecting, I think our match fitness isn't very good, so I'm not necessarily expecting any good outcomes from today's match, but hopefully it won't be horrible. Let's see how this goes. We are in our blue and whites, moving from left to right across the screen. Coventry is in the yellows. Flynn starts out and loses the ball immediately. Interesting enough, I've watched Flynn a little bit. He's played, I think, 2 or 3. Way wide. Okay, nothing. No harm done. Watching Flynn, he's lost the ball a couple times here. Preseason friendlies have been good, but we've been playing... Ooh. Okay, Coventry threatening early here. Preseason friendlies have been good, but we've been playing much easier teams here. So I don't think they really are very meaningful here. Uh-oh. Blocked. Get it out of here. All right, a lot of pressure early. Let's shout, demand more, because shouting at your players is always good to do when you have no idea what to do. They've picked up their second yellow card. We are totally focused. That's a good indicator for... Oh, Josh Martin at 82%. What's wrong? Alan Dixon Bonner nervous. We're falling apart. 5 shots to 2. Gah. Okay. Not a very good start here. Let's pause at our tactics. Josh Martin has taken a knock and is indicating he wants to come off. Dear me. Okay, we don't really have a very good right winger because our other right winger's hurt. So our optimism is kind of taking a little bit of a twist here. Let's gonna go and give up on the shorter passing. Let's go a little bit more direct. I'm trying to think if there's any other changes we want to make here. They are consistently taking advantage of that. And let's go a little bit cautious just because we're playing with the big boys now. Let's tone that down a little bit and see if we can hit them on the counter more. Josh Martin, I could bring in Jack Byrne. He is not necessarily ready for this level at all. He ranks out one of our National League players. He can dribble on the right side and he can attack, which might give us another thing. And I don't want to risk Martin. So let's bring in Jack Byrne. I think he's the only one who can play on the right side there. Or can Sealer play on the right side? Nope. He can't. I'm still learning my players here. Sorry for the delay. Morgan Jeffs. Can Morgan Jeffs play on the right? Nope. He's just a striker. Lapsley could play on the right side, but his match fitness is only 60%. I don't want to play him for 60 minutes. So that's not an option. Let's do Jack Byrne on the right side, and we'll change him to an inside forward attack because that's a role he does pretty well on. All right. Okay, so confirm changes. Let's get Martin out there because he's hurt. I feel like he could have sucked it up. He was at 80%. Everybody's nervous. Just relax, guys. Relax. I'm nervous too, though. Gosh, all in our end here. I feel like the hammer's coming soon. Oof. Nice save. I thought that was wide, but that was O'Brien making a good save here. 37 minutes in. 0-0. All right, Baron, let's go. I have faith in you. You're running sideways. Oh, God. I don't think he's ready for this level. He is a guy who I promised I wouldn't sell. Shinkar's plays a short passing play. I just changed that. It wasn't doing anything. No, I don't think that's the answer. 9 shots to 3. Covington is taking us to school here. 10 shots to 4. 1 shot on target. We are being completely outplayed at halftime. Encourage the players. Give them a bit of morale boost. Yeah, I do think that's the way to go here. We're not doing badly at all. That's a little bit of an overstatement, I think. Unlucky boy. No, we're definitely... I'm not happy. Let's give the fans something to cheer for. Let's try that. Jack Barron, our substitute, is motivated, but nobody else is motivated by that. There's a lot more to come for you, and I believe you've got what it takes. I do think it's going to take a while for our players, 1, to get up to match shape, 2, to get used to playing with each other, and then 3, for us to kind of tweak tactics here. And that's obviously my weak spot is tweaking tactics. Let's end the team talk. If we can come out of this 0-0, I feel like we're going to lose based on what's happened here. I feel like they're playing a lot better than us. It's a matter of time here, but maybe we can get lucky. But it's a lot different than the friendlies were. The friendlies, Baron, not a good start here. Okay, nothing out of that. Let's go. 49. That's the same spot. Well, yeah, that was kind of coming, wasn't it? So what do we? I'm going to go 60 minutes. We don't need to see that, but let's watch it. 34. Who is that? I don't know who these players are yet. Just standing still and watching that. Okay. We can make some substitutions at 60 minutes. Shane Flynn has been booked. Yeah, it would make a chance. We should do the same thing with Baron, too. I have to do the tactics way, right? I haven't played a match that I've really been watching for a while here, so... it's a little bit ease off tackles. There we go. To kind of remember some things. You don't play for 6 weeks. What could we do here tactically to shift this up a little bit? Right? So, maybe... Boy, I don't know how these players really work that well yet. I feel like we're struggling on offense, obviously. We could shift the formation and move up to a center attacking mid, but... Let's go to 60 minutes. Let's go 5 more minutes and figure out something here. I don't really have an answer yet. I feel like I haven't thought through this problem. And our preseason friendlies were not necessarily providing us with much help because we were kind of killing teams that were a lot weaker than us. So that hasn't worked. So I might pause this here to think for a minute and think what I'm going to do. But let's think together for a moment here anyway. 60 minutes in, Sealer, who's not doing very well. Shane Flynn is doing pretty poorly on the left. Barron is doing poorly on the right. That's somewhat to be expected. Dixon Bonner is nervous in the middle and not playing well. We could bring in Lapsley. He's match fitness, though, is only 59%. But we're losing anyway. Caleb Watts. We could try Caleb Watts. Icrapozo. I'm going to pause the video here and think. I thought about this for a minute. I'm going to bring in Watts at midfielder here and change him to just a central midfielder support and to see how that might help things out here. Let's confirm these changes. We still have 1 sub left, but I feel like we need to shake something up to hopefully maybe we could sneak out a goal here and get something. Del Croy gets a yellow card. They've got a corner. Just cleared away. Let's close him down. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, here we go. Here's a chance. Zanzeller from distance. Lobs it in. Finish. Blocked. Is that a corner? Yes. Now, Holmes, our center back defender, the new guy, has been really good on corners. So, nothing. Flynn, take the shot. Someone, shoot. Well, this is down their end, though. This is promising. Okay, we got 1 more sub now. Let's see if we can do. Kirby is frustrated. 6.5. They're killing us in the midfield. We can fix that. Let's try one more thing here. But we've only got 1 more sub. Okay, I'm going to think again. Okay, I made some changes here. I pulled off Flynn because he was doing terribly. Brought in Robinson out at left wing. Switched Kirby and Watts from side to side just to try to mix things up a little bit. And we've got to get out of cautious, so we're going to go positive here for the last 18 minutes and 17 minutes and see if we can do something. So let's see if anything happens. It'd be nice to sneak out a goal. That would be totally awesome. If we could get a 1-1 draw here, I would be excited. Barron can dribble, even though he doesn't slot out well for this level. He is a good dribbler. Robinson cuts inside. Oh, sniff of the goal. We got the ball in the box, though. All right, here we go. This is promising. Get it. Yes. Watts, back to Clark. We're doing stuff. We're going the wrong way. Stuff. But it's stuff with the ball. Over the top. Fall to us. And now they're breaking. Ngandu. Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing. Come on, boys. 12 minutes left. I think with like 10 minutes to go, we will go full attacking here. Let's do that. I mean, I don't think goal difference is going to make a difference for us this year. I think it's either going to be we're pretty good or not. Either we're safe or not. Let's go attacking. It's working well. They're stalling, aren't they? Oh, nice save by O'Brien. Come on, boys. 7 minutes left. I feel like there's things, like basic things I've forgotten to do. Robinson, good. Robinson has looked very good in... Oh, that was so close in preseason, although he doesn't necessarily slot out very well at this level. Nice. Kirby breaks it up. This goes to Seller. Back to Robinson. We're moving forward to Watts in front. Bummer. Barron picks it up. Crosses. It's getting exciting now. It's been better, right? The last 30 minutes have been better. I mean, they're still out shooting us 2-1. Coventry, by the way, is slotted to be, at least on that media prediction, right about the same level that... Oh, wow, that was fast. Didn't want to do that. I wanted to see if we could... I'm forgetting to shout. I feel like I'm kind of screwing this whole game up. Push forward. But that last 4 minutes went quick. I get distracted and start talking, and then all of a sudden, bad things happen. Okay, here we go. Last chance. Come on. Holmes, down. Get on that... Don't want to just kick it to nobody. We lost, didn't we? Well, okay. Not the bright start I was hoping for. Fairly one shot on target. We still got some work to do, huh? So we lost 1-0. Let's go to the dressing room. Tell the team the promise was disappointing. Yeah, not happy with the performance out there. I do think. Looks stressed. Whoops. Yeah, you probably should be stressed. We're just going to leave it at that. I found like adding things onto this just doesn't really make things a lot better. Josh Martin lost. Yeah, you're not going to be around that much longer out there anyway. So, okay, let's continue on. So, there you have it. At home, we lose our opener 1-0 versus Coventry. Our adventure in League One ends with our first match, and we are in the relegation zone, 22nd place. I hope we don't get used to it down there. But, okay, I think there's some positives. The second half was better. I've forgotten kind of a little bit of the tactical stuff. Not that I really know a lot about tactics anyway. But I feel like it's going to be a long journey. And 1-0 against a team that's slotted to be in the top third of the league isn't necessarily a horrible result. I mean, we're playing at home, but we'll keep working at it. Keep trying to get better and stuff like that. Looking forward, let's take a look where we are. We've got a bunch of matches this month. I'll play through these. I think I'm going to come back for the MK Dons match, which is the first league match in September. So we'll know a little bit more how things are playing out as we get through the rest of this busy month here. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I guess I realize this kind of morphed into a longer episode. If you've enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you are new, please consider subscribing so you keep up with all the things that are going on. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.